I'm Emily, and I need to have a crucial conversation. In fact, I need to have a crucial conversation with you. What's your name? Thomas. I need to have a crucial conversation with Thomas. Okay, so in this crucial conversation, who's responsible for putting my meaning into the pool of shared meaning? I am, right? It's my meaning, my conversation, my responsibility. And who's responsible for putting Thomas's meaning into the pool? Yeah, most of the time, most of us want to say Thomas. It's his meaning, his responsibility. But here's the thing, and this is the thing that separates the people who are very best at crucial conversations from all the rest of us. The people who are the very best at crucial conversations understand that the answer to that question, who's responsible for putting Thomas's meaning into the pool, is me. I'm responsible. Because I'm ultimately responsible for the pool. And if I want my crucial conversation to go well, if I want to expand that pool so we can make a better decision and take a more committed action, I need all the meaning. Sure, I need my meaning, but I need Thomas's too. And yes, I would love it if all I had to do was open the door and Thomas would come running in and jump into my pool. But if he does not, I need to help his meaning into the pool. I need to encourage his meaning into the pool. I might even need to actively coax his meaning into the pool. And that's what exploring others' paths, exploring Thomas's path, is all about. I see exploring others' paths as fundamentally an extension of the safety skills that we teach in Crucial Conversation. It's because, as we know, people stay out of the pool when they don't feel safe, when it doesn't feel safe for them or for their meaning. They move out of the pool. So to bring them back into the pool, to bring their meaning back into the pool, we need to create safety. And as you just learned, safety is fundamentally about intent, not content. But here's how exploring others' paths and the skills that we use in exploring others' paths are different and important. Because with exploring others' paths, it's not just about saying what my good intent is or telling someone my good intent. In exploring others' paths, we literally live our good intent. We demonstrate it, we show it, we act it. We are that good intent. And this is what I mean. I've heard it said this way, and I really like this. I'll probably have to say it twice to make sure I get it right, so listen hard. It's not them telling you your concerns that builds the relationship. It's them watching you listen. Think about that. It's not them telling me what their concerns are that helps build safety and build our relationship. It's them watching me. It's Thomas watching me listen to him. That's why it becomes safe. Because I don't just say my intent is to listen to you. I live it. I show it. I do it. I listen. And you see that happen. Let me give you an example of this, one where I didn't do so well. This is just a couple of days ago, actually, at work. Now, I like to think that I'm super productive and I'm this incredible multitasker. And I live with this myth that it makes me very efficient. And so, so one day earlier this week, I'm at my office, right? And I'm just like, I'm pounding out that email, right? Fingers flying over the keyboard. I am on one, right? And I hear from behind me, behind my back, at my open office door, someone comes and stands there. Again, my open office door, one that is open literally, and I would have hoped figuratively. Someone stands there. At first, I don't know who it is because what do? I do not turn around. No, maybe they'll go away, I've got things to do, right? Okay, well, finally, this very brave man says, hey, Emily, I need to talk to you about something. Now, at this point, most of us would be like, oh, great, what do you need to talk about? Me? Yeah, what do you need to talk about? I just need to finish this email, go ahead. And he starts talking, which is great, because guess what? We had a conversation. We had a conversation while I'm doing my email with my back to him. I can tell you what I said, I can tell you what he said, I can tell you what decision we made. Literally, I was listening. But it doesn't matter, because he couldn't see me listening. Now, I don't think that conversation was a crucial conversation, but how would I know? It wasn't crucial for me, but was it crucial for him? I don't know. I hope that we have the kind of relationship, this gentleman and I, that he felt safe to put in his meaning. But again, if he did not, how would I know? Because I wasn't even watching, and he wasn't seeing that I really was listening. So this is this idea around intent, that it's not just enough, again, to say, I want to hear your meaning. They have to see you listen. And as you do that, as you ask questions, as you reflect back what you're hearing, as you paraphrase what you're hearing, you're actively demonstrating that your good intent is to understand what they have to say. So that's the first big idea. It's this, right? That people need to see you hear them. That's what builds the relationship. Here's the other idea I want to share with you, also about safety and exploring others' paths. And it's this. It's that one of the hardest parts about exploring someone else's path is that usually, when you really had to work to get their meaning in, you're going to end up hearing something disagreeable, hurtful, maybe even offensive. Because if someone's reluctant to share their meaning, there's probably a good bet that they're reluctant to share it because they know that it could be disagreeable, hurtful, or even offensive. So if you go to all that work to create the safety to bring that meaning in, you need to hold on to that safety when you hear something that is disagreeable, hurtful, or offensive. And I'll give you an example of this. Several years ago, I was working with a professional organization that had a challenge. They were trying to get more women into this organization. And there were some barriers, and they were trying to figure out what those were. So I came in, and like good consultant I am, I thought, well, I've got to understand the problem, so I'm going to start with some focus groups, right? I'm going to fill that pool with meaning. And I started having focus groups with women to understand what barriers they faced in this particular organization and in the profession. And about 3 focus groups in, I realized my mistake. I realized that I wasn't actually filling the entire pool because I was missing some very important meaning from the men. So I set up another group, and I had another focus group, this time with men from that organization. Now, this was hard. They did not really want to talk to me. They didn't really want to share, but I brought all my best skills to bear. And I was exploring, and I was making it safe, and I was bringing the meaning in, and slowly but surely they started to share. And what they said, well, candidly, it horrified me. They started to share how they had some personal reservations about whether women should be in this profession or not, whether the organization should be trying to actively encourage women, because this profession didn't match with what their personal value set was around the traditional role of women. Okay, so I heard this, and literally I remember thinking, I am dreaming. I have been transported back to 1950s Americana. Right? Like, what is this? And there was this part of me that, again, I was just so outraged, right? I wanted to take these men down. I did. I wanted to stand on my chair and shout, I am woman, hear me roar, right? What would have happened if I'd done that? Silence. Silence would have happened. Because those men would never have shared again. I would have shut them down so completely and driven their meaning so far underground that it was never going to come back out. And the problem with that is, if we can't talk about it, if we can't discuss it, then I forfeit my opportunity to influence. I forfeit my opportunity to engage with them and potentially shift or change or influence their perspective. So here's what I did instead. I took a big deep breath, dug really deep, and I said, wow, that must have been really hard to share, especially with me. Thanks for being brave enough to do that. I'm interested in what you have to say. I'd like to understand it better, and I'd like to share my perspective as well. Can I do that? Here's the thing about listening and about exploring someone else's path. So often in a crucial conversation, when we start listening and we're really listening intently, we're listening with the purpose to understand what that other person says so we can tell them why they're wrong. We're listening in a way that we can pick apart their argument. Because of course we're in a crucial conversation. We have opposing opinions, and I'm pretty sure that my opinion's right, and I'm trying to convince you of that. So I listen really, really hard so I can tell you why you're wrong. The very best at crucial conversations, they don't look that. They don't listen with an intent to disprove, to refute, to negate. They listen with an intent that says, what in what I am hearing can I find that is truth? I listen hard to see if there's something I can agree with. Now, I can agree with those men. My personal value set is important to me too. A lot of my actions and decisions are driven by my own personal values. I agree with that. Now I have a different value set, but I agree with something you just said. I'm listening to try and understand where you're coming from, not to tell you why you're wrong. I don't believe that people have an innate need to be right. I believe we have an innate need to be heard, to have someone visibly listen to us, to hear us, to understand us, not to try and tell us why we're wrong, but to truly engage with our meaning. And so here's the other big idea, and it's the one I want to leave you with. It's not just enough to create the safety and to bring someone's meaning into the pool in a crucial conversation. If you want to be successful, you're going to have to hold on tight with both hands through that whole conversation to your good intent, to hear them, to understand them, to bring their meaning into the pool, even when, especially when, it's something you disagree with. Thank you.